It was April 7th, 2014, when we started this journey of having a type 1 diabetic in our family. Braden was not yet 4 years old. We were collectively devastated and began a commitment to do anything possible to make it better. So we started to do the annual JDRF walk. But I admit we were naive to the implications of this terrible, hurtful, hateful disease. October 16th, 2016 will be the third time our family walks for the JDRF cause. Our team, Braden's Caped Crusaders, has collectively not only raised funds for JDRF research, but we've made friends who have diabetes or other struggles and share their stories as they donate. I have a group of friends at church who actually asked to donate. "Isn't it time to donate for Braden again?" they ask. What an example of the good that comes from bad and kindness that overflows. But now I want to tell you about how Braden is doing, how his family is doing during what I call type 1 diabetes year 3. Again this year, Braden's care has evolved. Braden now only gets a syringe injection of insulin during a crisis. For the normal days, he receives his bolus and basal insulin through a pump injection site. In addition, there are typically fewer finger pricks to determine his blood glucose levels because he is on the Dexcom glucose monitor. This allows Braden's mom and dad and his 2 grandmothers to track his blood glucose status throughout the day remotely via an iPhone app. Braden now carries in his belly pouch not only the insulin pump, but an iPhone, so the wireless Dex, which is connected to Braden through a site on his opposite butt cheek, can signal to the cloud and us. Since Braden started kindergarten this year, this was a helpful addition for Megan, who is in frequent communication with the school nurse, as well as the after-school daycare team, who has been his lifesaver since he was diagnosed. While finger pricks are still very necessary for calibration and confirmations, sometimes actually a lot of pricks, we count on the Dex to track his control. Alarms go off on our iPhones if Braden's blood glucose level is low. It was special when my phone alarm went off at work and my colleague assigned to be the fire drill captain started to march us out. I lowered my volume after that. So control is better, it seems. Or maybe control is the same, we just have more data. Nonetheless, Braden is being raised to be a normal child. He still finds magic in life as a 6-year-old. But recently, Braden had his first typical kid stomach virus that required a local friend from Meg's law firm to come and sit and listen for Addie to awake in the middle of the night until we as grandparents could arrive at 2 a.m. A normal kid's stomach virus landed Braden and his parents in Children's Hospital in the middle of the night. The impact to Braden's parents continues to resonate, as with this simple example. Megan and Brian planned to host a shore weekend with friends, but carefully arranged to have Braden and his sister just 20 blocks away. Of the 3 weekend nights, Megan left the party 2 nights while Brian hosted alone their friends, and Meg slept where Braden was due to the terrible fluctuation in blood glucose levels. Having a type 1 child pretty much means you have no guarantees for a social life. But then an explanation for Braden's exceptionally bad blood glucose control emerged. The sites on his butt cheek became so damaged from repeated site injections that an abscess infection had formed. Braden's site for insulin was moved to his belly, and the trauma of site injections, which he had finally accepted, started anew for the new belly site. The red face is from crying. The smile is because he's so brave. And so this saga continues. When Braden was diagnosed, they said, "Now your whole family has diabetes." So many times my heart breaks for this family, my daughter and her husband, Braden of course, but also for Braden's little sister Addie, who has grown up in a family holding its breath for the next diabetic crisis. Recently, while driving, Megan gave 4-year-old Addie a type 1 diabetes quiz. I'm not sure if this is good or bad, but when asked, here is what this 4-year-old answered in her little girl voice. "What does Braden need from his pump?" Insulin. What happens if he doesn't get enough insulin? He goes high. What bad thing happens if he goes high? He can get ketones. If Braden needs a juice, what does that mean? He's low. What else can we give him if he's low? Glucose tabs. She scored 100%. Please sponsor me again as we walk for type 1 diabetes. I am committed to my Braden and to JDRF as they walk to make type 1 type none.